going on, everybody? Welcome back to PlayStation Generation episode 70. My name is Matt, and I'll be your host for today's events. I'm joined, as always, by my little soda pop himself, Mr. Denis Raccoon. What's up, Danny?
Not much, man. How are you? I'm having a hell of a Sunday.
Dude, why? Good? Bad?
It's been
Both?
a good Sunday.
Buckley's? Are you seriously just coming in here with Buckley's?
Because I am a fucking psychopath, sociopath.
Yeah, 100%. So I was sick a couple weeks ago, and we were talking how much the taste of Buckley's just sucks ass. You got to give it to those marketers for just nailing down the absolute perfect tagline of "it tastes awful, but it works," because that is truly it. And like me and Rice were both like, "Yeah, it's shit." And Denny's like, "Am I the only one who doesn't think it's that bad?" Clearly not. Clearly not. Denny, my boy, how you been the last couple weeks?
I've been great, man. It's been work's been fun, life's been fun, games have been fun. So no complaints. It's been interesting. I feel like we've been gone just for a small smidgen of time, but so much has happened in that time.
So much has happened in that time, and we're going to talk all about it this week's show. We're going to be talking about Demon School. We're going to be talking about RGG. We're going to be talking about the PS6 Silk Song. Ooh. And a whole lot more. So strap in and prepare thyself for the show of a lifetime. But before we do all that, let's catch up on what Denny's been playing with, because Denny, my boy, it sounds like you've been busy. What you been playing?
A couple of things, actually. I've been trying out some demos, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
The biggest thing right now is I've gone to Gears of War Reloaded.
Okay. And how does it feel to be back?
So I'm 100% impressed. It feels great to be back. So one thing is I watched the Digital Foundry review about it from its technical standpoint. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that they're still using the Unreal 3 engine for this remaster.
So what did they just paint on top of it? What do you mean?
It's just they've added more to it and made a custom Unreal 3 engine. So all the lighting effects and stuff is all new, but the core is still the Unreal 3 engine. So they didn't even bring it up to Unreal 5, which makes it really interesting because we were talking about Metal Gear Solid Delta the other week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how I was like, yeah, you need to move it, port it to a new engine that's meant for modern technology. And here the coalition is doing this, where they've basically taken an old game, used the same engine, just put a gloss of paint over it and added, updated the textures. And it's a great game. It still plays the way it should. And so a little bit of Denny lore here. Me and my dad ran through the first Gears of War, because that was the first time I got for my Xbox 360. And so I loaded it up, I threw a controller at him, and we just ran through the first act in the first night.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was just old time. It was really good. So it was a good nostalgia trip, but yeah, lots of fun. And then, like I said, just been playing some demos for stuff that's been coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
What?
A little bit later.
What demos?
A little Lost Soul aside.
Let's hop right into that, because I'm going to pull our first news story, and then I am going to talk about it as well, because I have been playing it. But let's pull our first story in right now, and then we'll kind of wrap back around, because Lost Soul Aside is out. This is coming straight from the PlayStation blog. It launched today, which was August 29th, and there's a free playable demo. This is coming from Yang Bing himself, who's the game director and CEO at Alta Games. So to show that Lost Soul Aside is officially out today on PS5, console, and PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store. And there is a public demo. You got seamless weapon switching, you got aerial combat, you got a bunch of boss encounters. Denny, I haven't played the demo, but I have been playing the game itself. So before I kind of go into my thoughts on the actual game, tell me what is in the demo, and did you like what you played?
So I'll preface this by saying I didn't play the full demo, but there are a couple of different modes. So there is a battle tutorial, from what I remember. There is a boss rush type mode. And then there's an adventure mode. So I think that's more the exploration and how you traverse everywhere. But I played the tutorial for a couple minutes, and then I went straight into the boss rush mode. So my experience has just solely been with the combat of the game. It is fast, it is fluid, it is interesting. From the game ran well on that demo, on that boss that I fought. But I don't know, there's something that's left to want. I want a little bit more. I don't know if it's just because it's the demo. It's not fully fleshed out. Maybe you're just getting core mechanics. But just playing it, I just want a little bit more. There's something missing, and I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it.
And it's funny that you say that something's missing, but not any longer, because Rice Boy has joined us. What's up, PlayStation Hokage?
Hey.
Yo, what up? What up?
That was a hot entrance, my dude.
Sorry.
No, it's good. Could you check your mic settings? I think you're coming through something else because there's a lot of air.
There we go.
Twice. Yeah, no, dude, I feel you. So, Rice, we're talking Lost Soul aside. Denny's giving his demo thoughts. Have you tried the demo?
A little bit, just a little bit of the combat, but I haven't really like sunk into it. I haven't pulled up here. Yeah, I don't know, when we were talking about your initial experience and stuff, I think with those thoughts, I definitely felt exactly what you meant. It's like, while visually it looks fun and great, like I think that I chose the adventure part of the demo as well, and then experienced a little bit of the voice lines, and I was like, oh, okay, so these voice lines feel like a decade ago. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the flashy stuff, the combat is don't you
I
have
know, I know. I already
no
called them on
way.
Yeah,
No way.
Right?
For anyone that's listening, the Buckleys,
Yeah, Denny's literally straight chugging Buckleys
that's
tonight.
crazy.
Isn't that
That's
nuts?
crazy.
And he's like totally plain faced, like it's nothing. I'd be like spitting up, hacking. I'd be like a cat with the fur ball, and
Yeah,
like not
that's
enjoying it. And drinking water after that is crazy, considering that shit like fucking turns your mouth into an igloo briefly, and then to follow that up with water is crazy work. That's like brushing your teeth and immediately drinking water after.
that's insane. You completely took me out of my thoughts. Like, I'm not.
That was the whole plan. I'm sorry, guys. I meant to derail you. I couldn't help it.
Lost Soul aside, though,
Yes.
I put in a lot of time. My reviews live on But Why Though.
Sick.
This game has grown on me a lot.
Okay.
What I'll say is the story is garbage. Like truly terrible. There
Okay.
is so as you kind of come into the game, it lays no groundwork. You're just kind of thrown into things. But there's a cutscene in the first couple minutes that me and Steve Vigvari, friend of the show, were messaging each other about and dying laughing because out of nowhere you're running through the streets and it hot swaps to this guard straight up kicking a kid through a stack of boxes. And when I tell you there is no lead in or no, like there's nothing, I'm gonna go to Steve's Bluesky real quick and see if I can find it here quick.
I think
Okay,
I
hold
actually
on.
scrolled past that.
I'm gonna pull this up real
It's
quick. I
too
found
funny.
it just because like I need you to understand what is going on here. Okay.
Yes.
Here it is. You see it here. You're just running.
Boom.
Like, why?
Like
Officer, he's just a kid.
like he just like immediately trashes this kid like across the thing. And the thing is, this perfectly sets the tone for what this game is, because then it's like it's kind of setting itself up like a Final Fantasy VII type thing where you're like the rebellion kind of going up against the evil emperor, and then out of nowhere there's aliens. Like what? Like it's just such a like massive like kick in the face, just like this kid just got booted. I felt like I got booted tonally.
Got you.
And the first couple hours of it is really like it's like The Room. Are you guys familiar with the movie The Room?
Yeah.
Where it's so bad, it's good. Yeah. Ron in the chat, little Brett deserved it. Maybe. I've come around on this game in that like it is like The Room. It is so bad that it's good again when it comes to the story and the writing and the voice acting. It is not good. Like let me just get this out. But I have laughed my ass off so many times playing this games, like in ways that like the game clearly doesn't want me to. But like the lead protagonist is just Noctis and Cloud fused together, and like yes, Cloud in Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth is kind of deadpan, but there's a lot of depth to that delivery that you feel the subtext of the emotions. Imagine stripping all of that away, and it's just the deadpan delivery. Ron in the chat, nobody puts that much torque into a kick, my boy, if they don't got it coming. Using the word torque in that sentence is crazy. That is incredible. So the story and the combat and the characters just don't get any better than that. But the combat does. And there was a really weird run animation. So the guy, like, if you tilt your stick slowly, he moves at a walk's pace. The standard run was doing this weird fucking thing where, like, imagine every step was shifting the environment backwards. You're not moving through the environment. Imagine he's on a treadmill and every step that you take, like, rubber banded the environment forward.
Whoa.
And then there was the full out run, which was totally fine. That like default run was genuinely giving me motion sickness. That's now been fixed. That is no longer a problem. So let's get like this was it was a thing that was bothering me immensely. That's now been fixed. Playing on PS5 Pro, I've had little to no performance issues. There's been a couple frame drops here and there, but very, very seldomly. It runs very, 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 very well on the PS5 Pro. The combat starts out clunky, and then as you start to upgrade, and very much like Stellar Blade, where as you start putting more time into the character, as you start learning the combos, the upgrades that are coming are genuinely new moves and new combos at such a rapid pace that you start to gel with the combat in a way where, like, every time you feel like you found a new combo that you like, you unlock something else and you're like, oh shit, that's also dope. And then you get a new weapon. And the great sword was probably my favorite. Like, it just like trucks through enemies. And the boss fights are big, these big flashy, like, seriously, the PS3 like set pieces where it's just all about, like, it's like taking two action figures and jamming them together. Like, that's what this game is. Everything in between, there's some like light exploration, there's some platform. The platforming is god awful. It feels simultaneously extremely heavy and extremely floaty at the same time, where, like, the initial jump is like wee, and then you just drop. And there is some precision platforming that they want you to do, and let me tell you, it is not good. But the combat is really fun and just gets better the more time you spend with it. Is this worth the full price tag? Is ultimately I come back to. If you're somebody who likes Devil May Cry, if you're like somebody who likes these like extremely flashy big action games, there's a lot of game here that I think it is worth it. If you are coming here looking for a decent story, if you're coming here looking for anything other than these boss fights and then these just like really satisfying and fun combat, wait for sale. You know what I mean? Or play this one that may eventually come to PlayStation Plus. I think this is an okay game that I actually really like. I ended up giving like a 6.5, and I think that's pretty much where I'm at exactly. But I like it like it's an 8 out of 10. Like, that's what I mean. I will not say that this is a great game, but it is one that I like. And that took me about 3 or 4 hours before that kind of really gelled. The first couple hours I was standing there, I was like playing, I was like, what the fuck is this? Right. And then as I kind of met the game on its terms, I started enjoying it more. It is not for everyone. I think there are some people giving it like a 2 or even like a 4 out of 10. I think that's crazy. I don't think this is a fundamentally bad, broken game. I just don't think. I think it's a PS2 or like late PS2, early PS3 era title. And
PS2.
If you vibe with that, you'll like it. It is simple for what it is, but what it is can be pretty fun. Yeah. So that's what I'll say. I think that this game came out at a time where like there isn't a ton around it, and it may find some success. But I think this is one that, like, as they continue to update it, and maybe like even stuff like they've added in like more combat sound effects, which helps the game, like helps the combat feel more full, which it was feeling a little bit empty at points. It just kind of felt like it lacked impact a bit. But again, that's even better now. I think this is a game that will have a longer tail on it that people will kind of come to enjoy later on. When it may be at a $30 or $40 price point, when it may be on PlayStation Plus. But I think anybody that's hopping in now is still going to have a lot of fun. And this is like 15 to 18 hours of game here. Like it is lengthy. There are some late game bosses that are kind of bullshit, but it, like, again, this is kind of with the territory when it comes with games like this. Sure. But like the set pieces are cool. Like, it is fun despite its issues. Yeah. It's entirely held up by its combat. So if you're going to enjoy that, then that's what you're getting out of it.
It's like those PlayStation titles that you can, tap X through.
Yes, exactly. That. The thing is, the combat actually has a lot of depth to it in terms of like different inputs and different timings and different things that you can do. There is a lot there. Like you can't just mash square your way through it. Like there is a lot of depth here for those looking for it. Mm-hmm. Other stuff I've been playing, Persona 5X continues to eat my life. I'm going to bring it up real quick because patch 2.0 came out. And this is where the actual Persona writers hopped in and started writing the story because it wasn't great before, and it is genuinely excellent. Like, I mean, this chapter is going to be incredible.
Let's go.
Like, there's some genuinely Persona level writing going on here. The new character is dope. There's some really cool stuff here. Great time to hop in. And the last thing that I'll bring up, I am playing Ghost of Yotei.
Yo, let's go.
September 25th is the embargo. I'll have my written review here at Console Creatures along with the video. I'm sure Bobby, Steve, and I are going to team up for a review discussion. September 25th, come back and check it out. We'll talk about it more here. But that is all I can say for now. I have Ghost of Yotei. I'm playing Ghost of Yotei, and it is not something I can talk about. Rice, my dude, what have you been playing?
Yeah, on that note, I have just been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, just having a lot of fun with that, and looking forward to Yotei, of course. Recently finished like the DLC content of Borderlands 3, as well as Destiny 2. And I think that my aim here is to really get kind of a foundation put in place so that we can critique at full the experience that is Borderlands 4, and like the looter shooter that it's aiming to be, and what the community is expecting versus how it's going to deliver. So yeah, I've been diving into a lot of games this past week, more casually playing Minecraft with my son Nico, as always. But yeah, lots of games and lots to talk about very, very soon.
Well, let's keep talking, because let's kind of kick things off. We're going to talk about some rumors. Listen, we're officially at a point in the PS5's life cycle where PS6 rumors are kind of a recurring thing here. So let's kick things off with that, because coming from VGC, Sony is reportedly planning a Nintendo Switch style PlayStation 6 portable. This is written by Andy Robinson. New report claims the planned PS6 portable will be dockable like the Switch. That's according to Moore's Law is Dead, a YouTube channel that has previously leaked accurate technical info on PlayStation consoles before their announcement. In a new video, MLID shares specific technical specifications for the PS6 handheld, which will reportedly release alongside a traditional, more powerful PS6 home console, which is said to be up-to-date documentation from graphics partner AMD. Apparently, there's multiple documents that directly call out that the planned PS6 portable can be docked like a Nintendo Switch, and it claims that it can be capable of playing games natively at power exceeding that of the base PS5 when docked. So these are some big things. Apparently, Moore's Law speculates that the PS6 handheld can retail for around $500 US and release in late 2027. This is a big stuff here, because we've talked before about how we think that, or how we hope, or how there's been rumors that there might PlayStation might be getting ready to release a handheld alongside the PS6, but I don't think, at least I ever really considered that the docking would be part of this. Let alone that when docked, this thing would be more powerful than a PS5.
Oh yeah.
Denny, how you're you know tech, specs, all this shit. How are we feeling about what we're hearing?
It's exciting because, so little bit of tidbit of information here for those who don't know. The PS5 is running off an RDNA 2 architecture, and if they're saying that the PS6 portables can be running off RDNA 5, right then and there your compute units have doubled. Now I don't know the exact amount of compute units that the PS5 has because it's custom architecture, but it makes sense why they would say it's exceeding the power of a PS5 when docked, because just alone on raw technology, like, you're getting something that's way more optimized, way more efficient. And that's a good thing, because battery life, right? If it's a portable device, like, hopefully we're looking at something that has good battery life, maybe not like Switch 2 battery life, which is only like 3 hours undocked. It's an exciting tidbit of news. But it also makes me wonder what the core, like the actual like stationary station would have. The
unit, like the PS6 proper.
The non-hybrid unit would have in terms of power, because you've got to make sure that, you've got, I feel, if you're Sony, and by the way, if you're Sony, you're probably going to muck this up. I feel like, you can't just do like what you do with the PS5 where you have a pro or not a pro, sorry, like a digital and a disc version, right? Like you're gonna have the same performance across the board. So what are they gonna do to drive people to buy the actual console versus the handheld? That's my question.
You know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be idiots like me who will walk out the store with both. Denny,
The Sony pony right here, ladies and gentlemen.
I am here in front of you saying that like I will drop to my knees in a Target and cry.
I'm glad you added and cry.
Yeah, if this is real, I will want the PS6 proper as like this is the one that is like eternally attached to my TV, and this is like the more powerful one. This is where I'm going to be getting, who knows, maybe 1080 60 consistently, or even like in a world where I can dream 4K 60,
Jeez.
But I would want that to be hooked up to my TV all the time, and my PS6 portable would be my thing that I take around, because for me, I don't know if I'm in the minority or what, but I almost never dock my Switch.
Right.
Like I could count on one hand the amount of times that I've docked the Switch 2 since I bought it.
So you enjoy the handheld experience.
I like the handheld experience. It's what separates it for me, I think, in the land of my brain, where like this is like I've always associated Nintendo with handhelds.
Right.
From the Game Boy, the SP, that kind of world lives in my brain. So if I can have my cake with the powerful PS6 and then eat it too by taking it portably and be able to play these things, because if what Denny's saying, and like let's say that this thing is as stronger than a base PS5 when docked, and like this is years out at this point, let's bring in PSSR on top of that. Like there's already a lot of hullabaloo around the Star Wars Outlaws port for the Switch 2 and apparently how incredible it runs and how amazing it looks. And that is a current gen game that is now running quite well on a Switch 2. So if you can loop in all of PlayStation's, I would argue, better tech when it comes to PSSR and make this thing like a really good handheld experience, and then give me the PS6 for when I want to sit down in front of my TV, big screen it, have everything running as bells and whistles on, I'm there. I will buy both of those immediately. Rice, where are you at?
I mean, yeah, bro. Like the specs are boasting a lot. And I do, I'm not a spec hunter, but but I know how to read these sheets, you know what I mean? And so like if it delivers in the way that it promises, bro, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive on both fronts, right? So I am like you, Matt. Like if something offers a handheld experience, I'm more likely to lean towards it being a handheld. And the dockable experience is a plus, but I'm almost always just going to be playing using that piece of hardware as a handheld. So I'm interested to see, how powerful and how smooth we can really get this stuff. Maybe it's time,
And for me, I feel like just certain games feel better handheld.
Sure.
Like JRPGs and a lot of RPGs across the board, a lot of tactics games, to me just feel better handheld. I like having it closer to my face so I can better, understand the map. Like there's a kind of like almost like mental dissonance that happens when I put something on the TV, and it's like, I like that for like the big action stuff. I like that for like these like cinematic big moments. But when it's just like I'm like in the weeds getting nitty gritty with shit, I like having it close to me so I can really kind of like understand the map, the layout, get the right attacks popping off and everything. So I already said that I would walk out the door with fucking both of these things day one. Denny, it's day one. The PS6 is coming out. The PS6 Portal's coming out. What's the game? What's the buying plan here? Is it one? Is it both? Is it neither?
In a perfect world, obviously both. Realistically, I think I'd go the handheld first.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Well, think about it this way. Your handheld now is going to be, if you're making a PS6 game, your handheld has to be like what they develop for, because it has to be able to run smoothly on that. So your experience better be solid on that. So anything else on top would be gravy, right? So better resolution, better frame rate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If it runs well on the handheld, and it might be, just like Matt said, playing an RPG handheld, for me is a lot better as well because I get easily distracted if I'm playing a RPG on the TV. I usually have like an iPad or something on the side running a show on Netflix or whatever. I'm listening to music. So this keeps my attention forefront on the game when I'm playing in handheld mode. By the way, my dock for my Switch 2 only used to charge it. So I would definitely go handheld first. I make sure the experience is solid. I'd make sure I'm happy with everything the PS6 is delivering. It's a bit of a lower investment than going out and buying both or maybe even the main console. And then as maybe a revision comes around, this time I might wait and maybe see if there's a PS6 Pro that comes out later or like a slim model instead of jumping right in.
Right. If you can get if there's a lower cost entry point that you could get a comparable experience and have that bonus of having it, around with you on the go. I feel that. Rice, what about you?
I think I have the opposite strategy here. I think that I would go with like a stationary setup. I would purchase that. I think also with the trajectory of like my purchases as well, the Switch 2 is going to take kind of my main attention for handheld experiences. And so with that already kind of biased in my mind, I wouldn't be grabbing the portable. But I mean, like, that could change. Because like
we've got like 2 years till it comes out roughly. So
exactly. So there's just that is a lot of time for stuff to be developed and changed. And if the rumors are boasting this much, like that's exciting. That's exciting. So yeah, but I still think that I would get the kind of the stationary setup. Maybe that's also my association to Sony.
I think that especially because I feel like when we spoke about this a few months ago, we were talking about what is the buying proposal here for somebody who's might be getting into the handheld. And the more that we're hearing, I don't think we ever really considered the fact that dockable might be a thing, that this could be a de facto replacement for a home console entirely. And I think that if that's the door that they're looking at, that is an interesting one. I'm going to pull in Ashley 1963 here in the chat. And Ashley drops a comment saying that, well, once Sony releases PS6 hybrid that has more power than the PS5 Pro, it's definitely going to be game over for Nintendo. No? Denny, is it game over for Nintendo?
No, I don't think so. There have been much more powerful handhelds, much more capable handhelds that have come out since the original Switch. Take a look at your Steam Decks, your Allies, et cetera, et cetera. And while there's a market for those and everyone thinks of a portable handheld, it's synonymous with Nintendo. I think they're not they're not going down for the count with that. They have their system, they have their ecosystem, they have the software, they have their fan base. If anything, it's just for them, this might be for Sony, this might be a great way to get some people who already have a Switch 2 to maybe buy a PS6 as their secondary console, because the experience might be similar in terms of how they use their main console.
I think you're right on there. I think the Switch has paved the way for the PlayStation to be able to consider doing this. I think PlayStation is going to have an uphill battle, but I think it is one that they are poised better for than almost anybody else. As we kind of learned, like we saw with the Switch 2 sale, it is clear, the Steam Decks, the Allies, and everything. These are as much as I love my Steam Deck, it is a much more niche device when you're comparing it to something like a Switch. A PlayStation is still a household item and a household name that people know. If I go to the store and I'm walking past these, if I'm a grandma or grandpa walking down the aisle and I see PlayStation and I see, this one's like that Nintendo, I can pick it up, I can walk around with it. That is an easier sale for somebody who's looking at a handheld PC and being like, what the hell is this? I don't know what a Steam Deck is. What is this Rogue Ally? These things don't translate as easily for people who don't know. So I do think that for us, obviously a PS6 handheld is an exciting proposition because we now know what can be done with the Switch. I still think that you're going to get experiences on the Switch that you'll never get on the PS6 and vice versa. These games live and breathe in their own worlds. And again, at that point, the Switch 2 is going to have would have been out for a couple years. You would hope that the development and the ports are only going to get better. And Nintendo still sells. So I still think that the Portal was a bigger success than PlayStation anticipated. There's clearly hunger for a PlayStation handheld. And I think that what Rice was saying, this may be the reason why people maybe hop back into a PlayStation who may have been a Switch a Switch household up until that point.
Right.
What do you think, Bryce?
Yeah, this is fun. First of all, like the fact that we are talking about, competing, home consoles is a good thing. It's a good thing for the market. It's a good thing for gamers in general. So, but like you say, because each kind of powerhouse has its own games, these own IPs, there's a reason to get both. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how the average consumer, right, versus the tech enthusiast, right, who knows, they'll hear ROG Ally and immediately know what that's associated with. But like you say, there's going to be people walking down that aisle and being like, oh well, I've known Sony for, yeah, well, my nephew has had a PlayStation since he was blah 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 blah.
I remember having a PlayStation 30 years ago. This name has recognition.
Yes, so there's a lot of opportunity for that to be pierced, and also for them to compete in the handheld game. So I'm excited for that. Those are really, really good things.
I think you make an interesting point here too, talking about like this competition between the two, because I feel like we haven't really had any direct competition for PlayStation versus Nintendo in quite a while. The conversation was always PlayStation for Xbox, and Nintendo was off in its corner doing its own thing successfully, but it wasn't in direct competition. Now we have a space, and I think the major question is going to become a battle of exclusives. I think this is almost going to kind of go back to the classical console wars, where Nintendo has its exclusives, PlayStation has theirs, and you can only play these things in their respective places. The biggest question is, how much support is Microsoft and Xbox going to throw behind the Switch 2, right? We know that this PlayStation 5 now, and the PlayStation 6, I would assume, is going to be getting Fable, is going to be getting the next Halo, is going, like, these things that is going to be getting the next Gears of War. Will these experiences also be on the Switch 2?
Right.
We don't know to what extent yet, right? So if we have a situation here where you can play all of the PlayStation and the Xbox games on your handheld PS6 versus, Nintendo games and then some third party on the Switch 2, again, that's starting to become a more interesting conversation than just the PlayStation and the Xbox.
Yes.
So I'm very curious as to how this is all going to shake out, and the fact that we're only like a couple of years away of this rumored thing blows my fucking mind. I still feel like I got the PS5 yesterday.
Agreed.
It doesn't feel like that long at all.
It does not
I'm
feel
still
like
waiting for
5
a
years.
really good game.
I think it's more easily palated if we call the PlayStation 5 the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
So what do you call the PS5 Pro? The PS4 Pro?
The PS5. I don't know.
This is like the PlayStation celebration. You know what I mean? Like, this is the console where you're like, let's celebrate all things PlayStation.
Exactly.
And like, let's not really look at anything else. Let's roll into our next story, because we have a bunch more we're going to roll through here. We got a PlayStation Plus games for the month of September coming to the Essential tier, and Extra Premium as well. We're going to get Psychonauts 2 on the PS4, Stardew Valley on the PS4 for the PS4, and the Viewfinder across PS4 and PS5. Bryce, how are you feeling about this month?
I mean, a little bit indifferent, to be honest. Stardew Valley is a great pick, honestly, if you like some cozy, sim games, and I think that Stardew Valley has already gained prestige over a large amount of time. Psychonauts, I think people, if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, you don't. I'm actually not familiar with the other game. Viewfinder, was it?
Yeah, you may have seen like clips of this game online. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like the thing where like they move a picture around and it like snaps into the environment.
Yes. Gotcha. That's cool. That's pretty. But it wasn't on my radar. So that's what I got to say about these games.
I think this is a good month. It's like you said, Stardew. I mean, what do we need to say about Stardew? It's been around for forever. It is massive. It is a fantastic game. I like the fall for cozy games. I don't know, like I want to like cuddle up under a blanket with a tea and like farm and shit. Like, that sounds like the vibes at that point in time. Psychonauts is not a series for me. I just can't get past the art style. I know people love the series. Court loves Psychonauts. And Viewfinders again is one that I was like, oh, I should play this game, and then I'd forget about it. And then when I'd see it again, I'd be like, I should play this game. So now that it's coming to Essential, I might actually check it out. I think this is a good month. What do you think, Danny?
Yeah, solid month. I'm not touching Stardew Valley with a 10-foot fucking pole.
Hater.
No, it's not. I played it already. I own the goddamn thing. I hate it.
That's true. You've probably double dipped and triple dipped and paid for it 1,000,000 times, right?
Yeah.
That's your move, though. You
pay for 400 hours in.
Guys.
Here's the question, though. You may own it. Have you played it?
Shut up. Yes, I've played it. I have played Stardew Valley. I played it once. I'll never play it again. Thank God I only paid like pennies on the dollar for it. Psychonauts might be the only one I want to give a shot, and just because of name recognition. But yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with the game. It's just not for me.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Absolutely.
Let's keep this trainer rolling because we had talked about a state of play. Okay, we had talked about a state of play. What I never would have fucking guessed was that it was a 007 First Light state of play. And that only. This is going from the PlayStation blog. Watch over 30 minutes of 007 First Light gameplay launching March 27th, 2026. This is coming from Jan Roskell, who's from IO Interactive. There's a special state of play showcasing footage from 2 missions to highlight the game's immersive design and cinematic flair, from a covert operation at a high-stakes chess tournament in Slovakia, closing with a high-altitude showdown to an infiltration of a lavish gala in Kensington, London. These missions offer an insight of what is going on. There's a bunch of spycraft gadgets, a bunch of combat, some driving. There's a lot going on here. I watched most of this, and I am liking what I'm seeing. For the most part, this feels like the Uncharted game that we never got, which I really like about it. The kind of fisticuffs combat, like the actual physical melee combat, looks much deeper than I think I was expecting out of a game like this. There were some points where this game's performance was not great. Like there was a couple noticeable and significant frame drops. Again, it's early. There's still like 6 months until this game comes out, so I'm not going to judge it too harshly based on that. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. This is scratching an itch for me. We haven't had an Uncharted game in a hot minute, and this feels like that is what it's delivering to me. Denny, did you check this out? Are you excited?
Fuck yeah. Sorry, pardon my language. I'm very excited for this because James Bond is awesome. I grew up on James Bond. And I grew up playing the really bad movie tie-in games, like on the PS1, like Tomorrow Never Dies.
Some of those were great. Some of those were great.
Some were good. Do you remember? Was it Everything or Nothing, which was like a separate, like it wasn't tied to any movie. It was its own Bond game. I think so. It was like the last game that Pierce Brosnan ever voiced as Bond. It was great. I loved it, and I had so much fun with it. And when I was watching this, like I've watched it in bits and pieces. I haven't watched the whole thing, but like. I've read up a little bit about it. So it's the guys who do Hitman, which is awesome.
Fantastic.
So right then and there, if you're doing stealth action,
exactly,
those are the guys to go to. It's giving me not only Uncharted, but for some reason, I feel like Assassin's Creed-ish vibes.
A little bit,
right? A little bit. So it's cool. It's great. I agree about the performance. I will cut them some slack because God knows how old this build is to have it ready to show for the state of play. But all in all, this is exactly what I would want out of a Bond game. This is a great way to bring the Bond IP into a modern era. I hope they take the time to refine it. I hope we get more tidbits because everything right now, this could jump straight to the top of my backlog.
I feel like a good time. We don't really know too much about what's hitting in early next year. Late March feels like a good time for this game. Rice, is this a day one for you?
Yeah, I don't know if I go and say that this is a day one, but I think that this right here has made James Bond games cool again. I don't know. I think that I had just been disengaged for quite a long time with just the IP, and the movies will be movies. You have your preferences. I think that I really love, the secret agent, cool gadgets, bigger, kind of larger than life fight scenes. So this was scratching that itch, like you were saying, and the chaotic energy that is Uncharted. I love that. I love that. And so I'm also ready to experience like a really cool story as well. So I'm excited. I'm very, very curious. I'm still not like jumping at it like I would, like, let's say Ghost of Yote, but two different things. So I'm interested to see what this has to offer here, you guys. Like, yeah, it's cool again, and that's a really good thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this is coming at a point where it's been long enough since the last like Bond movie. I feel like from like the Daniel Craig era, I feel like there was so much Bond in so little time. I don't know how long it was between those movies, but in my mind, it was like very close together, and I was almost like, I don't need more Bond right now. Like I'm good. And now it's been long enough where I'm like, this feels dope. It's been long enough since Uncharted. I think you're right. Like this feels like a mix of like taking the best parts of like Assassin's Creed and Uncharted and Hitman, obviously. Like this is kind of blending all these things together. They showed off parts where like you can like literally if you hang around at certain locations, you can pick up like eavesdrop on certain conversations. And then if you get caught in an area you're not supposed to be in, you can actually lie your way out of it if you do things carefully enough. Like there's just a lot of cool shit going on here that feels like the evolution of what this genre should be is a lot of what we're seeing here. There's some really interesting mechanics that we haven't really seen much before, and I think it looks like it's doing like bringing them out in some really cool ways. Let's roll on to our next story. Let's get cool with it because Skate's early access release date has been finally confirmed. It's coming from Chris Scullion at VGC. The fourth game in the Skate series and the first new release in 50 years will enter early access on September 16th, right around the corner. It's going to be free to download with cross-platform multiplayer and cross-progression. It's going to be available on PS5, obviously, a mix also the Xboxes, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's going to be the first season of content is going to start shortly after. This is like the free-to-play new version of what Skate is going to be. People have been playing it in kind of like a closed beta for a little while. I am excited about this, but I'm also nervous. This being free-to-play gives me pause. But because it's free-to-play, I'm also interested to hop and check it out. I've always been a Tony Hawk kid more than a Skate kid, even growing up.
Same.
Skate had required like a level of finesse that I just never really cared enough to invest in, but I had a lot of friends who really loved them, and from when I did play them, I did enjoy them. So I'm curious to see how this is going to land. I know there's a lot of reservations about the art style, people saying it looks more cartoony and silly than what Skate used to be. I'm excited to get my hands on it and give it a whirl. It's coming out literally in like less than 10 days from the point of recording. Is it Skate on anybody else's radar here? Anybody else excited about Skate? Because I'm pretty stoked.
So I'm really intrigued to try this. My friend of mine has been participating in those play tests, and this friend of mine is also someone who preferred Skate games over the Tony Hawk games. Now, this friend of mine was also like an IRL skater and was quite skilled, and so maybe their brain was calibrated in a way where the joysticks and the movements and the mechanics made sense to them. And I'm piggybacking off of his thoughts here, but he would say that the community generally would have agreed that Skate 2 was like peak Skate experience. 3, they had taken out multiplayer, and I think that people would generally agree that maybe they were trying to do too much in the game that took away from the core experience that Skate 2 had offered. Because let's say Skate 2 is like an Assassin's Creed 2, where there was like a huge jump in what they had added to the game, and it was in a really great place. And then 3 was like, I really wish they didn't do that. So
like Assassin's Creed 3.
Correct. So like this is kind of what the community was like really waiting to redeem the experience. And from what I know and understand from the play tests, people are really reluctant. But that said, throughout these play tests, there were lots of changes being made and lots of dialogue between devs and the community. So it's encouraging to see that like there is an open dialogue and that they're listening and that they want this experience to be as special as, what the community deemed as peak Skate. So yeah, man, I want to try. I want to get in there and see what it's all about. despite my brain not understanding skate mechanics as much as Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I'm with you there entirely. Well, maybe we'll have to hop on and play some skate together.
For sure.
Because like
for
this,
sure,
like, I'm kind of in.
Yeah.
Let's round out with a couple more stories. If you hadn't heard, there was a little game that dropped over the last couple of weeks while we've been out. Hollow Knight Silksong launch. Hammer, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo stores is coming from Andy Robinson over at VGC. Team Cherry's much anticipated Metroidvania sequel Hollow Knight Silksong caused technical issues across virtually all major storefronts when it released on Thursday, with many players left unable to access the game. This fucking game crashed every storefront. Literally every storefront. PlayStation went down, Xbox went down, Switch went down. You could not buy this thing if you wanted to for a handful of hours. Like, it was on fire. I think it peaked at it hit like 600,000 concurrent players on Steam like 4 hours after launch, which is just like monstrous numbers.
Insane.
There's been a number of games, one of which we're going to talk about, that literally as soon as this release date got announced, everything was just delayed. This is like the GTA of indie games. People are apparently loving it. I've seen a lot of people very, very excited and very, very happy with it. Also cursing something about a diagonal jump or something or the other. I am very happy for all of those people. I will not be playing this fucking game. I could not get into Hollow Knight. I got lost all the time. All the bosses beat me into the dirt. I did not enjoy my time with that game. So there is even less reason for me to check this out, especially when I have so much more to play. But for all of those people, I'm very happy. Again, friend of the show, Steve Vari. Like, thrilled, just over the moon,
enamored.
And what really made me laugh was he was like, "Yes, Silksong. Like, there's nothing else for me to play." The next day, we got Yote Code, so get fucked, Steve. Denny, I know you and I are on the same page here. We're not touching the Silksong.
I've never heard of this game before. Is it really that popular?
Apparently, bro.
Stop. Hey, this is news to me. Shit, what is this Silksong?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
never heard of it.
Yeah,
not
to be confused with Silk Sonic, which is the Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars joint band. Not that.
Yeah, not that one.
Okay. Not that.
Got it.
One. Bryce, you playing this?
No. I will. Just piggybacking off of your excitement for other people, I am definitely very excited for anyone who is excited about this. This wasn't on my radar. I've watched a many streamer play Hollow Knight, and it is a game that I respect. I respect the fandom around it. It wasn't for me. It just didn't engage me in the way that it did others. But I really enjoyed how much people connect with the game. The people that really love it talk about all of the things that the game offers that get them immersed. And those talking points are just, not the same things that keep me enthralled and keep me engaged. So yeah, man, enjoy Silksong. Hope that you can live through the bugs. And that's that.
Let us know in the comments if you're Silksonging it up, if you're liking it, if you're not liking it, let us know. But yeah, like, maybe we're like the only podcast in the handful of the last couple of weeks that isn't all about Silksong.
Are we not cool? Can you guys let us know? Are we not cool?
We stand out, guys.
We're special. We're different. Yeah, we're not like those other girls. We're not like those other girls.
Yeah, exactly. We're our own thing.
Yeah, we're different. We're like nerdy,
Absolutely.
Guys, and it's nerd sexy. Let's be real.
Yeah, let's be sexy nerds here. Yeah. Talking about Silksong and a game that got delayed because of it, Demon School has been Silksonged into a delay. This is coming from Luke Williams over here on Console Creatures. I got to give it to
shout out Luke.
I got to shout out Luke on this headline. Fantastic. Demon School, the Italian Persona and Shin Megami Tensei-esque tactics RPG from Studio Yeezbird Games, is officially delayed until November 19th. They put out a press release basically saying they were set to launch, I think it was on like September 4th, and then Silksong got announced, and they were like, nope, never in the fucking mind, and they kicked 2 months down into November. It's now coming out November 19th. They're going to be adding more to the game. They're going to make sure the games are fine. This is a game that I'm very, very excited about, and I'm very much looking forward to. And I'm very glad got delayed because I think that this game has a really cool art style, has a really cool premise. There's a lot here that I think could be very special, and I want this game to have its moment in the sun. So I'm hoping that this delay gives them just more time to make the game great. while also, I keep this one on your radars. I think it's really cool. But just know that it is no longer out now. It is now out in a couple months because of Silksong. And there was like tons of other games that like just completely jumped out of the way. Yeah. If not from weeks to months into next year. Like so many games were like, never mind. Never. You know what? You have it. Silksong.
It's yours.
It's your day.
We're not going to do it. It's all you. And for the most part, everybody has been very supportive. Obviously, seeing an indie game win is a fantastic thing. But in terms of other things that we're probably not going to see in the light of day anytime soon, and this one's squarely for Denny.
Yay!
Coming from BGC, we're making great progress. Director provides updates on Kingdom Hearts 3 and FF7 Remake Part 3, coming from Andy Robinson once again from BGC. Final Fantasy creative Tetsuya Nomura has told fans to be patient for news on Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, as well as the long-missing Kingdom Hearts 4, and insisted both games are progressing well behind the scenes. Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced during a Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary stream in 2022. And since then, little has been detailed. Meanwhile, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 is expected to close out the remake trilogy on current-gen consoles and has reportedly been in development for more than 2 years. There was a live stream that was going on, and there was a user, Itaikichi Mochi on X, who translated it, basically saying that regarding Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, Toriyama supposedly said that we will have news around the second anniversary of FF7 Ever Crisis. Denny, can you fact check for me? When is that going to be? When will the second anniversary of Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis be?
September 7th. September 7th. That's today!
The second anniversary? Or is this the first anniversary?
Well, it came out in 2023.
So this will be the second anniversary. So, well, he lied. Because if it's today, we don't have any information about that.
Wait, hold on.
Fact check yourself.
No, it's the initial release date. December 7th was the Windows release, so I don't know. I'm going with September 7th because that's when it came out on Android and iOS.
So maybe in the next few months we'll have not news about Final Fantasy Remake Part 3. And then about Kingdom Hearts, he said on the same note, I'm seeing a lot of comments about Kingdom Hearts 4. We're making great strides going according to schedule. So please wait for more information on that. I remember when Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced. Let me hop in on Kingdom Hearts 4 before I toss to Denny for Final Fantasy 7. I am a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I have been one for my entire life. I really love and appreciate these games, as batshit crazy as they fucking are. Yes, I've watched 4 to 6 hour long videos about the lore of Kingdom Hearts, trying to make sense of it all, because that's how much I care. And this is hilarious to me, because I remember when Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced, they're like, guys, it's going to be different this time. It will not take us 10 plus years to get Kingdom Hearts out the door as it did 3. It has now been, granted, only 3 years, but it's been how long since Kingdom Hearts 3? Longer.
2019.
Okay, 2019. So it's been 6 years since that. I would genuinely be shocked if we're playing this before 2030. And I know that it sounds like I'm joking, and I would hope that I am. But like I think 2028 at the absolute earliest, if that, until we see Kingdom Hearts 4. Denny, do you feel a little better about Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3? Like, what are you feeling? When is this game coming?
Get Silksonged.
Get Silksong.
I like that. That's good. Better than saying. Anyways, sorry, what was the question? I got.
When is Part 3 coming out?
I think Part 3.
We got Rebirth in February of 2024, so it's been a year and a half.
I think we're gonna see it late 2027, early 2028.
Okay.
The only reason why I think that is because the time between the original Final Fantasy VII, we're not a remake, and Rebirth was about 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, like 3 years and 11 months and some days.
Almost 4 years, yeah.
Almost 4 years, because I think March of 2020,
April of 2020, and then February of 2024.
Okay. So there you go. And in between that, we also had Integrate come out as well. So we got the updated DLC and all of that, plus the ports for PC, and now we have the ports coming out for Switch and Xbox. In terms of a development perspective, I think a lot of the assets are already there, obviously, because they want to do it on current gen. So they probably already have a lot done. It's more just story was probably already done. I've heard they've actually, I read somewhere, so take it with a grain of salt, they're already doing voiceover work for the third game.
Okay.
And they tend to, and with Squeenix, they tend to usually do all the languages at the same time now and release worldwide. So I would be very surprised if we see it come out after 2028. I think they're going to probably pour a lot more resources into this to get it out. And that's what they did with every other Final Fantasy. For some reason, Final Fantasy always puts Kingdom Hearts on a back seat, because that's why 3 took so long, because they wanted to get 15 out. Because that game was also in fucking development hell for a decade. Squeenix, get your shit together.
Squeenix.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I think it's going to come out late 2027, early 2028. And
so not soon enough for you?
Well, I've been saving Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm about halfway through, and I put a full stop on it. So
until you get your PS5 Pro?
Interesting.
Yeah, that too. Or my PS6. Man, that hybrid better accept discs.
It will not.
No, they're going to sell it separately, of course.
I swear, if they start doing key cards, I'm going to be hella pissed. No, so yeah, like I'm waiting for this to be announced and to be like, oh, we're only like 3 months away from the launch. Then I'll finish Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So I'm trying to pace myself, because I was in this game. I poured like 50 hours like within a month, and then I was like, I need to slow this down, because I will I'll ruin, like the wait will just be horrible for me. So far, wait's been good, because I know when that comes out, I'm playing Rebirth.
You can spend a lot of time on all the goofy side stuff, though.
You can spend some time
on
that goofy
I've
side.
done every side quest, I think, so far, because like all I'm doing is going around finding stuff, like talking to Shadley. I hate that guy. Doing all the side quests. Sorry,
Shadley's the best.
Yeah, don't hate, man, bro.
Guy, he's like Oma Chow. Anyways, but yeah, no, it's all good.
Let me ask you this, Rice, because I think Denny's right. I do think that we're probably going to see this. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of simultaneous launch across like PS5, PS6. Like I can see that being that kind of that like real showpiece. I think it could be that real first showpiece for the PS6 if that's coming out as we're anticipating it. Do you think there's a world where we get all of the Final Fantasy VII trilogy before Kingdom Hearts 4?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just to be an asshole. Yeah, absolutely. And I would enjoy that. I would really enjoy that. And I would be in Denny's DMs causing.
Hell yes, yeah. I genuinely think I think we're gonna get all of them before Kingdom Hearts 4, which is just incredible.
Absolutely, man.
Let's hit one more news story on our way to the last couple of questions, because once again, coming from here over us at Console Creatures, Mr. Dennis Price, Big D.
Let's go, Dennis.
RGG Summit 2025 announced for September 23rd with an RGG Direct to follow. Publisher Sega and developer Ryuga Gotoku RGG Studios, better known as the Yakuza Like a Dragon franchise, have announced that they'll be hosting an RGG Summit 2025 live stream on September 23rd at 8 p.m. PST, 11 p.m. ET. It will feature studio updates with an RGG Direct to follow. It will dive deeper into the info from the presentation. Of course, we know that we don't have anything dated from the studio, and that's a little weird, because like they put out Like a Dragon / Yakuza games annually, like it's their day job, which it is, but also they keep doing it. Like we had Pirate Yakuza this year, we had Like a Dragon 8 last year, like they've been nonstop. So we know they're working on Stranger Than Heaven, which is the new IP. We know they're working on Virtua Fighter 6. Both of these things could possibly be in this thing. I want to temper expectations, because most of the time these things are not very hype. They're more like, kind of deep dives into what they're working on in a way that it's not usually like hype announcement. This isn't like a Nintendo Direct. These are much more like, we're going to talk to the developers and we're going to talk to the things. They're very cool and they're fun to watch, but they're not like, I wouldn't have your hype meter through the roof. I think we could. I don't think we'll get release dates for anything, but what I am expecting is Yakuza Kenzin, which is the other. We got Ishin a few years ago, which was the kind of one that was set like way back in Edo era Japan, and they were samurai. Kenzin was another one of these kind of spin-offs. I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting a remake of Kenzin. There is a big Yakuza sale right now, and only Yakuza 3 is not on sale, which could mean that Kiwami 3 is on the way. I wouldn't anticipate anything new, but I think, some announcements around remakes is a possibility. If they really want to get crazy with it, go Dead Souls, where they basically turned Yakuza into his co-op zombie shooter, which was hilarious. I don't know if they're ever going to bring that back, but I think Kenzan is a possibility. I think Kiwami 3 is a possibility. I could see a release date for Stranger Than Heaven or Virtua Fighter, but I think that's kind of probably more safe for the Game Awards because I don't think those are imminent. I'm sure they're soon because RGG are wizards and they turn things around pretty quickly. So I could see mid to late next year for Stranger Than Heaven or Virtua Fighter. One of those hitting next year isn't outside of their own possibility, but we will find out. Anybody else have any thoughts on RGG? I know this is kind of squarely in my wheelhouse, but just wanted to see before we hit some questions.
Yeah, let's move on.
Sounds like no. Let's hit a couple questions on our way out. Justin at justin.bsky.social. Thanks for writing in. Justin saying, do you guys still deal with stick drift in the PS5 controllers? It makes it hard to buy those special edition controllers.
Sorry, I'm just gonna jump right in there.
Go.
So I do, but they're actually an easy repair. If you have the tenacity, if you have the time, and if you're just willing to learn a little bit, fix your own controllers. They're very, very easy. The parts are easy to source, and it's really satisfying when you are able to fix that yourself. But yes, the answer is yes. I still experience that, but I have been using the same PlayStation 5 controller as when I got it for years now because I've been repairing my own, and I've only had to repair it once.
Okay. Danny, what about you?
So I'm lucky that I haven't actually experienced any stick drift with any of my controllers. Not a flex, not a brag. I have the two that came with my console when I bought it, so the white one and the red one. I bought a pre-owned black one, and then
it doesn't take much to sit on a menu screen, so I can't imagine really getting much stick drift.
Incredible.
Bryce, we're gonna have some words after this podcast, my guy.
That was brilliant. Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, no, I haven't experienced anything, but I have seen others go through it, and I kind of second Rice's statement there that if you do take the time, have a little bit of patience, follow a guide. Sony has actually made it easy to open up your controller because I think they expect you to replace the battery packs and stuff, and they've been doing that since the PS3 days. Yes. So a little bit of patience, take your time, don't rush it. Yeah, it's a quick fix, and you'll be back gaming or sitting on the menu screen in no time.
Yeah, yep. I'm with Denny actually. I haven't really experienced any stick drift, and I do wonder if that's because my ADHD riddled brain always wants to buy the new shiny things. So like I bought a few controllers over the years, like a few special editions, a few different colors. So I don't usually sit with the control. Like I'm usually hot swapping between controllers pretty frequently. So I don't know if I've dented any of their lives enough to really cause stick drift, or if I've knock on wood, I haven't any that have kind of come like that out the box. So I can't really comment too much on that. But what I will tell you, Justin, is that from all the controls I've purchased, I have never had that happen to me. I haven't. Fuck you, Denny. Denny just sent me a message on Discord saying buy this one, and it's the fucking Fortnite controller. That absolute abomination. Yeah, no, I haven't had it happen to me. But as I said, I have heard. I know plenty of people that have had it. I've had multiple friends who have dealt with it. As I've said, I have heard that it is a fixable thing if you're willing to kind of sit with it.
Yeah. So I would say it also depends on what games you're playing, you know,
and what you're snacking on.
Yes. What I play requires heavy pressing on the joysticks. So R3 and L3 are heavily used on the games that I play. So so there's bound to be some wear and tear there, which is why I started experiencing drift of the stick.
Of the stick. But yeah, so this you can fix it yourself, or just be like me and just jump to the next new shiny thing and waste your money. This is our next question. Our final one is coming from the homie Black Wyver. Black Wyver writes in saying, "Hope you all had a good weekend so far. You too, my friend. Question for the show: You've been asked to adapt K-pop Demon Hunters into a game. What genre would you use, and what are your thoughts on how you design this game? Take care.
I got ideas.
Rice. I think you and I have got ideas.
Yeah.
But I want to go to Denny first, the K-pop demon hunter connoisseur, we call him. If there was like a lore manual for this movie, Denny would be it. When you talk about deep lore, about theories, you know that iceberg that's like on YouTube, you always see like the Spider-Man iceberg, and on top of the Gwen Stacy, and at the bottom it's like Teresa Parker. Like there's some shit in here.
Yes,
exactly. Denny.
Yes.
What are you doing with K-pop demon hunters if you're gamifying it?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I saw the question ahead of time in the show notes. So I made my own notes about what I would do.
Excellent.
And then I realized I've never seen the fucking thing. So I don't know. Rice, what about you? What would you do?
Man, I think this game would be great if it were, you know, an action game, kind of like a DMC style, or it could be a great turn-based game as well. Honestly, something like you know, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 or a Persona. Like, man, I think that there's just a lot of flair in K-pop Demon Hunters, so there's lots of room for that. Man, and the music is just so fire. It could also be a rhythm game. So what else you got there, Matt?
Yeah, I'm with you. Like my mind obviously initially easily went to like DMC style action games. If you can hot swap between characters and the different move sets, that would be really dope. I also thought about JRPGs. I'd actually really want like a tactics style RPG where, like, again, like Persona 5 Tactica had this cool mechanic where, like, if you lined up characters in certain locations, it would make like a triangle, and you could like super move the characters inside. So if you could do that with the three main characters and kind of set up this like triangle of death, I think that could be really dope. I think you're 100% right. If you make this like, I would actually, what I would do with it, if I had money, time, and a budget and the control to do it, I'd go to RGG and I'd be like, you make me a K-pop Demon Hunters game, because I think they could get the action combat down. I think it'd be fast and frenetic. I think you'd give me like an open world Tokyo that I could explore. I think you could have some wacky side content. And then, of course, like Rice mentioned, you would need a rhythm mini game. You would need like performances, like give me the karaoke mini games from Yakuza, but make that into K-pop Demon Hunters, and I would be seated day zero. I would be on every review list in the country looking to get on that game,
bro.
Even
if a side game or a side thing there was purely just like a karaoke thing where you sing the song, like that's enough.
And if you want to
draw
go
my people,
yeah, Filipinos with their karaoke, bro, nobody better.
Everybody in those sing-along theaters is Filipino. It's crazy.
Pop off, and they all sound so good.
Oh man,
it's just it's incredible. What I also would want is if you really took this and ran with it and gave this like a morality system where like maybe like the main character, if you could like tap in more into your demon side or tap in more into like the hunter side, there's stuff that you could do here, which is why I want to ask Denny one more time, because I've seen him sitting there ruminating and thinking. Denny, what would you do with a K-pop Demon Hunter game?
What would you do,
all
bro?
of the above. I don't know. I don't even know the goddamn story. So I guess I'll have to go watch
It's all in the title,
movie
bro.
Yeah, it's all in the title, bro. This is one of the most literal movie titles in existence.
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. Someone at work tried to explain the story because their daughters got them into this show.
It's a movie.
Yeah, sure.
It's a movie.
Whatever,
and I got my son into this show or this movie.
Denny, I got my daughter into this movie.
Yep. Good for you guys. So I like, seriously, guys. I don't know what I would do, but I know nothing about it. But my first idiotic response was like, make this into a visual novel dating sim type game. I don't know.
Oh my god, bro, you would print money.
That's perfect. The dating sim. Oh my goodness.
Especially if I can take care of that tiger. If I could have that as a pet.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Goodness.
Let me pet the tiger.
Bird, the weird ass bird.
Fuck that bird. I don't like birds. But
I know the birds are kind of weird.
That brings us to the end of this week's show. Thanks for hanging out with us all, everybody. We appreciate you as always so very much. Rice, before we go, where can people find you?
Absolutely. You can find me on my Linktree /Rice BOYYY TV. Find me on there. Stream set schedule will be out soon. My son is in school now, so we're trying to figure out, schedules and stuff, but streaming is going to become a regular thing again. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be putting out some content very, very soon.
Content's coming really, really soon. And Denny, if I had to get one more game pitch for K-pop Demon Hunters from you, what would it be?
Yeah, rhythm based.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
that's kind of easy.
And for all the lore deep dives, where can people find you?
They can find me on my Instagram and on Twitch, where I'm not petting said tiger. And sprinkled throughout a bunch of other socials. You can find them on my Linktree, so that's Linktree/Denarican Gaming.
Go find Rice and Denny in all the spots, and make sure you support. Of course, you can find myself here on Console Creatures and at butwhythough.net. Folks, thank you so much. We're going to be back next week. There is so much gaming coming in the next couple months, so please be excited and prepare thyself for an onslaught of content. We love you all very much. Be well, stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.